So I am sitting in Connor's living room and he is cooking for me in the kitchen, as you can hear. Connor, say something.
Wow.
What are you making for us?
Making some veggies. Making some asparagus.
Asparagus.
Can you hear me?
You heard it here first.
I'm making asparagus and mushrooms. A little oil. And peppers. A little pepper.
Ooh, some peppers.
With a pepper.
It's gonna get spicy in here.
Ooh, it's gonna... Yeah.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where we talk about the things no one wants to talk about in real life. I'm Christina, your host. This episode is going to be a little different than my normal ones because after wrapping up this intro, I'm going to give you guys my interview with Connor that we did yesterday, in which we reflect on 2020 as a whole and what we learned from it, how we surprised ourselves, what we took for granted, that sort of thing. But then at the end, I am going to switch back to solo mode and host the second annual recording of the Hot and Spicy Pickles Awards. Basically, I give each guest that's been on my podcast that year a different customized award, kind of like the Dundies in the office. So you can fast forward to the end if you would like to get straight to that, but I guarantee you that you're going to want to stick around for Connor because I have him open my Christmas present on air and it's quite entertaining. So real quick, I will just give you guys a few really big updates in my own life. I've talked before about how I've been trying to get treatment for my eating disorder, but the healthcare system was making it really hard for me to do so. So last week, I created a GoFundMe to raise money for my treatment. And the goal that I set was $5,000 because that was just above what I would need to pay out of pocket before meeting my deductible. And within 24 hours of me posting this, my goal had been met. And it still doesn't feel real. I can't believe it happened. This means a whole new beginning for me, a whole new chapter. And I'm just kind of at a loss for words. I talk about it a little with Connor later too, but as we segue into this interview, I want you to think about what you're carrying with you into 2021. The image that I get in my head is a house on fire and you can only carry so much. And so, do you grab the tried and true coping mechanism that you've had forever that's familiar, or do you grab something that you might not be very familiar with, but it's better for you? You can carry forward good things and you can carry forward bad things. And we can't always choose which ones we bring with us out of the fire, I didn't ask to get saddled with the same eating disorder that my mom got saddled with, but life kind of handed it to me and now I'm carrying it with me. But with that said, we do have some choice in the matter. So thinking back on all the negative things that happened this year, I am choosing to leave some of them behind and only carry the good stuff with me. Obviously, not everything's black and white. I think it'll be years of processing before a lot of us even begin to deal with the trauma of this year. And so all I'm asking of myself, and I guess you guys, is to just really be aware of what you're carrying into the new year and how do you feel about that and how are you going to process that? I don't know. It can be really beautiful to reflect. And with that said, I will segue into my interview with Connor. Enjoy. All right, we're rolling.
All right.
So,
hi.
Thank you for cooking me dinner.
Literally, you cooked me dinner.
Feeding me jelly beans. Before we start, I want to give you something.
What do you... Oh my god, stop it.
No, it's from my mom.
Oh, stop it. What she
So,
said?
wait.
Why?
Okay. So, hold on.
Oh my god, stop.
I got you. So, okay, I can't do this. Okay, so I just pulled this gift out of my backpack. Connor did not know I had it.
I had no idea.
And there's like a few little things inside, but one of them is specifically from my mom. And so I told her I would give it to you on air so she could listen.
Okay, we're gonna, I'm so nervous. Okay.
You need to describe what you're doing.
I'm opening, there's tissue in my hand.
Okay.
Oh my god, who is this?
It's a moss
Is it a
ball.
moss ball? You guys, I need plants in my home.
And it's super easy. You cannot kill it.
Right. That does make sense. It's filled with water.
Yeah. You just put it in light.
Was this from your mom?
No.
Okay, got it.
It'll be very clear which one is from my mom.
Which one is it? Okay. Is this from your mother? The stress ball. Is it a stress ball?
It's a stress ball. She put it
really sweet.
She put it in a sandwich bag with a note.
Oh my gosh, yes. That says Connor Hart. Little birdie.
Hart, yes.
There's a little birdie on it. That's so nice.
She got one of these for all of us, and she included you.
That is like the nicest thing. Wait, can I squeeze it in this?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
That's what you're supposed
to do. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm like nervous it's gonna pop.
It won't.
Oh. I love this.
I know, isn't it cute?
I'm gonna
There's
use it in
one more
all of
thing.
my meetings. I can't. Thank you so much for this gift. That was very kind. And then I love
this is
the little beanie. Is this the Alki Oyster Fest? I can't. Literally,
so
we have been talking
random.
about this beanie for so long.
Yeah.
And it's okay, so I got a little black beanie, one, very cute. Love a little black beanie. That says Alki Oyster Fest on it. One, oysters will kill me. I'm so allergic to shellfish.
I did not know that.
But what is an oyster fest? What does that even mean?
I don't know,
what I mean?
but I'm intrigued.
Do they go fishing?
I was hoping you would know because you're from
beautiful
here.
Gifts. Thank you so much.
It's the least I could do. Merry Christmas.
Stop
I
it.
love you so
Merry
much.
Christmas. I love you so
And,
much. You are so sweet. And Merry Christmas to your mother. Merry Christmas. Very sweet.
And Happy New Year.
What did you think of? That's me squeezing.
I'm upset.
Literally, this is so flipping cute. I am so excited.
I'm so happy you like it.
You're such an angel.
Okay, so now that that's out of the way.
Okay, that's out of the way. Back to the reality.
So as we're recording this, it is December 26th, and we're in the last week of 2020.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel very good about it.
Yeah.
I feel great, some might say. How do you feel?
I'm just ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
I know that things aren't going to change overnight.
No.
But also, I think symbolically...
And energy-wise.
Yeah,
right?
There's a new energy. There's like an air of possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same with every New Year, right? Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
New Year's is one of my favorite holidays.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's kind of silly. Like, New Year's resolutions are kind of dumb, but...
I love New Year's
I love them.
resolutions.
I love
Yeah.
any type of thing that helps me feel like a fresh start is possible.
Right.
And this year especially. So for this episode, I wanted to do a bit of reflecting on the year, but not just like... I don't want it to be like a typical New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
I think because this year is so drastically different from like any other year before, I think it has changed people in ways that are like really big.
I think I have changed a lot.
Really big ways.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, making like traditional New Year's resolutions this year feels wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, no, I agree with you. I think whereas we can reflect, we can absolutely look back on this year. It was really, really difficult. I have goals for the future, but I'm sure we'll talk about it.
So, okay, the one question I want to start with is more positive.
Okay.
And I think, so... What... Okay, was there a moment this year when you realized you were stronger than you thought before?
Oh my god, yes.
Because, I mean, I've known you for like a year and a half now, and I feel like
it's been a struggle.
You did a lot of growing this year, but I'll let you talk about how
I did do a lot.
Feel like
I will say the moment for me that I felt like I was stronger than I I am in fact stronger than I realized I was in the first quarantine phase. So
I wasn't here for that. So tell me what you went through.
So we were pretty locked down, right? It was right at, I had just gotten a contract position at Starbucks. I was just working a role, right? Doesn't really matter what I was doing. But I was in that role for 2 days. And then we got quarantined. So everyone had to leave the office. Everyone had to go home. And I did the remainder of a 6-month contract from a small little studio apartment. I lived in maybe an 150, 200 square foot lofted apartment.
I think it was smaller than that.
Whatever it
Like,
was, that's tiny, right?
It was like a closet.
Yeah, it was like a closet. It was like I refer to it as my coffin. That's
Yeah,
what I say.
it was
It's
like a
my
coffin. And
yeah.
that
And
sounds like a nightmare.
for 6 months. I did that for 6 months.
And it's a new job. You don't really have access to people
Yeah.
onto
Didn't
the
meet
floor to
anyone.
help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Had to train completely. And it was a super heavy call center role. So hours were intense. Could not take days off. Had to do it from my apartment, which was so small. It was very suffocating. And then also, the whole point of me doing it was to work with the Starbucks culture, which is so about inclusivity, environment, nurturing the human spirit is what they say, right? But it's about the people. So I didn't get that in a role that I really wanted that. So it sucked. It was so hard. Did the whole contract, didn't quit.
That's amazing.
I tried to get a full-time position too, like really worked hard to get a full-time position. And that was probably the hardest thing for me this year. Absolutely.
Well, you had been wanting that job for a long time.
Yeah.
And then...
been gunning for it for a bit.
I mean, I feel like that happened to a lot of people. They had so many plans for this year and things just don't pan out. So when you started working from home in that job and like everything turned out different than you thought it would be, did you feel like you had a fire under your butt, kind of like, okay, I have to succeed at this or I'm going to like...
or I get fired.
Like,
because so not only is that position hard to get, really hard to keep. They watch you like a hawk, let me tell you. They monitor your stats, your statistics around a call center kind of job, which is really difficult to do. And you got to be fast and you got to be on it all the time. So 6 months of that was really stressful. So multiple times I thought I was going to get the full-time position because I worked so hard, and then I didn't.
I remember that day. I remember when you found out you didn't get it.
I was so angry. So anyway, that is really what was hard for me with this year. That was the hardest part of this year. There are many other things that happened. What about you? What was your hardest moment?
Oh my god. I mean, just this week was like pretty hard. Like I mean, I made a GoFundMe and asked for help for the first time, and like I don't know. I let things get really bad, and then. I don't know, asking for help is really hard, but it's been a good choice.
Yeah, you're in a position now where you're on the other end of that decision.
Yeah.
So can we just a little more specifics? You were asking for a little assistance to like...
we
don't have to talk about it here too. I don't
know.
know.
I know. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it, because I'm going to talk about it in the intro a little bit, but, so, like, this whole year I've been struggling with bulimia, and, like, my job has been up, like, I got laid off in March and then started working again in April. But you got
furloughed, right?
Yeah, I furloughed. Right? Yeah, I got furloughed, basically. So, like, I'm one of the lucky ones. Like, I have had income this whole time, whether it's unemployment or hourly pay from my job. But, like, it's still significantly less than I was making last year, and it's just been a really big adjustment. Yeah. Like, you get used to living a certain way and, like... working hard for the job and
with the promise.
Yeah, with the promise. Like you know, you're starting to feel safe again and let down your guard, and then something like this happens and you're like, wow, I feel like not only have I not progressed, but I'm getting worse. Yeah. And that's not a good feeling when you're in your late 20s. And
I get you.
I mean, but there is a comfort in knowing that like everyone is going through it to some extent. Yeah. I don't know.
So that moment, I'm just going to dip us back, where you made this decision, put yourself out there, ask for help, turned out very fruitful.
Oh my God, yeah. So basically it was 2 a.m. and I was really emotional. I just watched the Lil Peep documentary. Do you know who he is?
No.
Oh my God, I can't stop talking about it.
Just the name.
Oh my God. It's this like rapper who died when he was 21 of a drug overdose, and he raps about like depression and stuff. Oh. And I never listened to him. I never listened to him before.
I have no idea who this is. Yeah.
Oh my God, we'll watch the documentary.
Well, yeah.
We'll watch that, and then we'll watch the
Ariana. We have to watch the Ariana.
But anyway, I had just watched this heartbreaking documentary, and it was 2 a.m. and I was just like, I don't know. I just made a GoFundMe just for the fun of it, like not really expecting anything to happen, but I met my goal of $5,000 in less than 24 hours. Yeah. And amazing. So I will be going to treatment hopefully next month with that money, which is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but it ended, I don't know, I feel like so incredibly blessed and like, I hate using that word.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, it does have a little like floofy
It's
feel
like,
to it, doesn't it?
It implies a higher power. I don't really believe in that.
Yeah,
but
well, and people gave to you, so it's
yeah,
almost like you need to give them
like,
credit for
so much
kindness.
love and support. Like even now, I feel like it's kind of thrown me off. Like all the love and support has like thrown me off. I'm just like a little
I think we
overwhelmed.
Sometimes I think we are alone, and this was a blaring statement saying that's not the case.
I mean, I mean, I was just telling Connor earlier, like one thing that we talk about a lot is the concept of community and wanting it. Like, we've both moved around a lot and neither of us really feels like we have, at least, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I've never felt like I had a solid friend group for years and years, like, cause I move every 3 or 4 years. And so that's one thing I've always wanted, but I don't know. People have showed up for me so much in the past few days, and so I feel like I do have that community after all. Yeah. It's always been there.
Yeah. I mean, but if I can challenge that for a second, is you do the community. You have it. We want it. There's also the need for a community in your physical proximity. That is really hard to find in Seattle or where we are.
With COVID, I mean, it's interesting you bring... This is a great segue because that hasn't really been possible this year.
Yes.
Like, how have you...
I can't date?
So, okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm trying to formulate this question in a way that makes sense. So, having experienced all the isolation that you have this year and, like, being accustomed to a new way of life, has it changed the way you think of your relationships with people?
Yeah.
Like I've your physical relationships, like your, like seeing people, not sex, like, well, that too. Oh my God, I'm like talking myself into a corner. Just like, hey, the act of hanging out with people that you took for granted before, and now we can't do that all the time, you know, like.
We can't. No, I mean, we are not allowed to hang out with people this year. We are not allowed to do it. Yeah. At least if you are going to do it, it's people in your household. It's the people that you see every single day, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, it's maybe a handful of 5 people. Whatever.
Yeah.
I
look up the government guidelines.
What I have learned, I am so social. I need people. I to a fault in this scenario, have been hanging out with people, and I shouldn't.
Yeah. And it's a challenge, you know, you want to be safe and follow the guidelines, but you know, your mental health is important too. And, Zoom meetings can only do so much. Yeah. I mean, it's really difficult. Yeah. And I'm really happy the vaccine is out. I think we're ending the ending the year on a hopeful note.
Yeah. Hopeful future for it.
But I am a little worried about people just throwing all the rules out the window now that the vaccine is here and just
especially with what the vaccine is, meaning doesn't mean it's over, right? Just because we have it doesn't mean it's done.
So we talked a little bit about your relationship with other people. Do you feel like any relationships have changed for better or for worse because of the pandemic?
I've lost a lot of friends.
Talk about that.
Oh God, it's really sad for me.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about.
Well, I think you're not alone for sure.
I think so many people have had to weed their garden, is what my therapist says. Yeah.
That's really good. I'm stealing that.
Yeah. Oh, please steal it. Like, it's such a good, it really reminds me of how to look at my relationships, the ones that are blooming and blossoming and have this unconditional kindness to them.
Well, I don't want to bring you down. Yeah, let's talk about those relationships. Like, those ones, like our relationship, for instance. Like, we got really so much closer this year.
Well, we're neighbors. So
we're neighbors. Right? Like, you live 5 minutes away. I've seen a lot of people kind of go off the grid and disappear, and that worries me. But on the other hand, there's been people who have popped up in my life that I haven't talked to in a while. I mean, especially...
Or didn't give the time of day
and, you know, I find myself talking more to unexpected people. Yeah. And, I don't know, I think you just need to take the positive out of it.
Right. I mean, I soak up all the interaction I can get, right? Yeah. Whether it be a barista or a random neighbor.
Oh my God, someone at the grocery stores talked to us.
Yes!
We were just at the grocery store.
We were shocked.
What if he's listening to this?
Maybe he is. Maybe he knows you. That's what he said.
Missed Connections podcast. No, so we were getting cucumbers, and I was trying to open the little thin plastic bag that they have in the produce section.
The ones that take a lot to open.
And I could not lick my finger, or I don't lick my finger anyway. Yeah. I like usually will touch it like something.
Yeah, we have a mask on. You can't.
Yeah, so I was really struggling hard to open this bag, and this guy out of nowhere just pipes up, "I hate that you can't lick your finger anymore, huh?" Or like, is that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
It sounds creepy when I say it.
I know. Meanwhile, I'm like behind you, licking my finger, trying to open. I'm like, awkward. I thought he was like coming for me and flirting with you at the same time.
I thought he was flirting with you.
I thought he was flirting with you. He was so cute, but you were the one struggling getting the bag open.
Yeah.
So of course he was talking to you. I don't.
But you were also, I don't know. You were licking your fingers.
My ass looked great. What can I say?
It's true.
No.
It's true. But yeah. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is just because we don't get interactions like that very often.
Jarring.
It was jarring, but also it was lovely.
Yeah, it was sweet.
And I don't know. It just makes me want to like not give up on small talk.
Yeah.
I think now we need like little things. Yeah, we need it more than ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Give it to me.
How has your relationship with yourself progressed this year?
Phenomenally. I feel so much better about me, which is great. A lot of time alone, so that helps.
Yeah.
Started therapy as well.
Well, how did you use the time alone to your advantage? Because I know for some people that can be like, it can worsen their mental health.
Yeah, I mean, well, I did therapy. So I did virtual therapy from my apartment so that would help me get a little bit more aware of my habits, behaviors, to help myself during the time of COVID. And also social interaction, which was rockin'.
Oh, yeah.
Got a new job, which I'm very happy about. Was doing Starbucks, loved it, lived it, laughed it, all that stuff.
That's going to be the name of that.
Loved it, lived it, laughed it. And
who are you?
I'm a namer.
Sorry, continue.
Anyway, doing Starbucks, didn't get the job. So sad, so devastated. Didn't know where I was going to get work after that. Lit a fire under my ass in the last few months of my contract to start looking. Found a job, applied to it. Contract ends. Went without work for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Had to go back into a Starbucks retail store because I didn't have another option. And then I got a job at Expedia. Having
seen this journey of yours, it's so inspiring to me because you had a plan. Like I could easily have seen you like spiral into a depression so many times, and maybe you were, but I mean, I don't, right. But well, I mean, you also, you hustled, like you did do the retail job for a few weeks, even though you didn't want to, like you knew you had to do it to survive. And I don't know, you're very flexible. Like, and that's really admirable about you. And so now when you got that job, like you deserve it more than anyone. Like I'm so happy now. And you moved into this cute apartment.
I do live in a cute apartment.
He no longer lives in a coffin.
I don't.
I
mean, that's a whole story in its own. I will get there. The one thing I do want to say on this podcast about the job stuff, I was scared out of my mind. Didn't have the job yet. Interviewed 4 times, did a technical assessment, had to actually like perform the job at Expedia before I got it. And then,
do you want to say where you work, or do you care?
Oh, I don't care. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying what I do, where I do it. Although, I mean, I live in Seattle. But whatever it is, Expedia helped me out, so I want them to know that I'm so grateful for the opportunity they've given me. If anything were to come of this,
for all the Expedia executives that listen to this podcast.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Whatever
happened, I was on the floor. I had to go to the bathroom. So I had a moment where I went to the bathroom, sat down, and was looking at my phone, and I got the offer letter while I was going to the bathroom.
Oh my god, that's so emotional.
And I lost it in a bathroom stall because I've been fighting for over a decade for a job, right? Just a better job.
You have never told me this detail before. It makes it more real.
Yes. And then I left the bathroom stall. I went back onto the floor, and I then got a call from a Starbucks executive and was offered another contract role in the same hour.
What? Are you serious?
It was wild, and I declined.
Did it feel good to decline?
It did feel good to decline because they didn't take a chance on me, and then I get it, time and place, whatever. Yeah. But someone gave me an opportunity that has now panned out very well. So now I'm in a nice little new apartment, little studio, same freaking price of my coffin. Let me tell you.
This place is like night and day compared to your old place.
Have a little kitchen.
It's so cute.
Have a little bathroom.
It's
We
It's
love
just
it.
adorable.
Yeah. But
And
it was
there's
nice.
no cats here to interrupt our recording.
Yeah, I think my journey's been long-lived, so I'm really glad it turned out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. So...
Your mom's note to me is so cute.
I know.
Her
She's
little-
so adorable.
She's just lovely. That's just the nicest little gift I've ever, like, that's just so sweet. So thoughtful.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
What would you say is the heaviest loss you've experienced this year?
Oh.
And then,
Yeah, I know one.
or,
I'm going to ask you this
we could also talk about...
Do you want to start with that one? Because you might spark one for me.
Yeah, okay. For me this year, I think the heaviest loss was, I mean, I ended a relationship and that was hard. I think the loss of security, like Connor and I met when we both worked at Starbucks together, but over the last year we both got, we both moved up in the ranks and like got new jobs, and this was really the year where I felt like I was going to finally make money and just like finally start saving and maybe get another motorcycle. I don't know, just all this fun stuff I had planned, and then COVID happened, and this whole year I've been like broke and sad and sick. So I guess when I think about like my biggest loss, it's more like a trickle of losses, like that all roll into one big like wave of loss. It's just like, it's exhausting. It's like you think you can't lose anything else, and then I don't know. I've also,
in our world happens,
like I said though, I'm also very fortunate in that I have had income this whole time. Like I know things could be a lot worse, but I think did we talk about the concept of mourning the last episode we did together? Like I think it's very, I think I'm still kind of mourning the possibility of, or I'm mourning what like what 2020 could have been.
Yeah.
And
oh my god, we were so excited.
And I think
new decade.
The hardest thing that a lot of people are coping with now is that we are not going to go back to normal, quote unquote, ever again. Like, no matter how much better things get, I really do think it's not going to be the same. For better and for worse.
For better and for worse.
Right?
Probably better.
Yeah. It's just, I think I really learned that not to hitch your horse to, like, one buggy, I guess. Like, nothing is as secure as it seems, and you need to be prepared for changes.
Preparation can only get you so far. We couldn't have expected this year.
Oh, I know.
It's hard to really say the what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, you're right. The trickling effect of loss is the worst part. And
well,
it's
none
like
of us...
from a faucet you can't find. You know what I mean? You have
oh
no
my
idea
god!
where that
And
trickle's
one day
coming
you
from.
wake up and your apartment's flooded.
Yeah.
And you're like...
the pipe is busted.
Yeah. And you're just like, what happened? I was sleeping. I did not notice.
I was having a pleasant old time.
Then I got out of bed and now my socks are wet. And
oh my god, I got a wet sock.
And my cat's swimming away. And
oh my god.
I don't know.
Luckily you haven't had a cat that swims away. You got a cat this year.
I got a cat this year. Okay, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So in addition to the losses this year, like what do you feel like you gained this year?
Well, I mean, new job, new apartment, sense of stability.
Like, I mean, coming from
better relationships.
Yeah, from a mental health standpoint, like what is something you're really proud of yourself for doing for your mental health this year?
Oh my god, cutting bitches out.
Yes.
Getting rid of the relationships that we're not seeing.
And how did you get to that place?
Oh god, well, to dip back to the last question really quick. The things that I lost were my relationships. I had a really solid group of friends that I really just loved, and they were lovely, mostly Starbucks friends, some gay friends, which is another beautiful thing for my community. And I loved the crap out of them, but there is a sense of sadness in that group. Very kind of angry, very mad.
You know what? One thing that I realized is that you don't need a really big reason to cut someone out of your life. Sometimes all it is a feeling. Yeah. Like you say that, like, I don't know, they don't have to like be an asshole to you to be bad for you. Yeah. Like,
I mean, they were.
Sorry, I'll let you continue, but
I mean, that's what you're right. You're right. It is realizing who is good and what is bad. I actually had a really good moment about that last week, but whatever. This friend circle was just becoming so volatile, so negative. so charged and putting me in really uncomfortable situations that I won't like get into in detail because their situation has brought them to where they're at. That is absolutely fine, but I don't think I have a part in that equation. So I stepped out and I lost a very large group of friends in that moment and in that time, which made me really lonely, really alone. But opened up space for new relationships like you.
Yeah.
Opened up relationships with people that are so freaking kind to me. And that has been has been awesome. And so now what I've gained is those better relationships.
Yes. Yeah. I think we get hung up on like certain people and we forget that there's an entire 7 billion people out there that like, I don't know, if your friend group makes you feel like shit, maybe find a new friend group. And that's easier said than done, I realize.
Well, I was going to say, I've learned that lesson, though, this year, too. Yeah. I actually have applied that lesson. I had a friend of mine, and we've had a conversation about this person. I'm not going to say their name because who knows if they'll ever listen to this. And who knows if they're going to be my friend in the future. Yeah. But not being very... I had a friend I just made about a month ago. I've known for quite a long time. And started hanging out with them, very excited about this friendship. And then I noticed they were doing the same things this other friend group that I just ditched were doing. Very mean, very volatile, very toxic, really rude, and dodged them.
Just to play the devil's advocate here, do you find that like this year is bringing out the worst in people, or do you feel like that person, for instance, was always like that? Like
on some level, right?
Because sometimes I give people a pass just for the 2020 pass, if you will. Like,
I think that's probably why. I mean, I just said that. Who knows? In the future, they might be a friend to me. It's just hard. You know, you'd think someone would be the nicest they are at the beginning of a relationship, but
have you realized anything like shocking about yourself this year? Like,
I'm kind of a bitch.
How?
I'm kind of like pointed.
I don't see
it how it is.
I don't see you as bitchy. I see you as finally like speaking your mind.
You know what my therapist said? Not aggressive.
Assertive.
Yeah, that's what she said.
People.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a 12-year-old. Oh, I mean, people in Seattle are not very assertive.
No, passive.
They're very passive. Yeah, I think that's great. Like, it sucks that it took a pandemic to like get you there, but I mean, for me, I will say that the thing that I'm proud of this year is learning how to ask for help.
Yeah. Did you learn that you don't do that?
I don't. Even when I like. I'm always like, oh my God, I'm so honest about my mental health. Like, I talk about it all the time, but I still, like, censor myself heavily. Like, on Facebook, on Instagram, even in these podcasts. Like, I had a friend listen to a podcast, and he was like, I noticed when you bring up your eating disorder, for instance, you kind of change the topic, like, right away. And I'm like, what? I thought I was pouring my guts out. No. So that's kind of been very interesting for me to learn that maybe I'm not oversharing as much as I think I am, and maybe people don't mind. And also, it's not something to be ashamed of to ask for help. And I don't know. I think one thing I learned this year is that I shouldn't feel self-conscious about posting that stuff out in the open, because a lot of people can relate. And so
a lot of people that are not posting it out in the open can relate.
Oh my God. Well, so I know so many friends with similar struggles, but that's just the number that have told me. I know there's so many more who are suffering in silence. Yeah. And so
and will continue to suffer in silence.
It's ironic that I'm just now having this revelation because I have a fucking mental health podcast, but like it took 2020 to get me to just stop caring as much, and like and I've been seeing amazing results. Like, people are so lovely, and if I can even like make one person feel like less alone, it's worth it. That sounds really cheesy, but
well, that's why you're doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, and to make people laugh.
Right. What did I say? Lived, laughed, and loved.
I don't know.
Yeah. We got a little chuckle.
I'm checking my notes again.
Give me another note.
Yeah,
Give me another question.
Oh, okay. What's something you will never take for granted again after this year?
Oh my God, social. A cute little bar moment.
Oh my God, a bar moment. God. What was your move? What did you have a move? Like, how would you approach someone at a bar before?
Oh, I don't have a move. Well, oh God, my what's my move? My move is sitting from afar, being loud and hoping they come over. I'm
do a little interpretive dance.
You know, that's actually something I've learned this year. Boys have told me.
Interpretive dance?
No. Although one of my my words of affirmation cards says I'm a fancy dancer.
Oh my god, wait, you should tell the listeners about that. Give a shout out to your friends.
My friends, Cass and Adele, we love them. Huge fan. They freaking made me affirmation cards because they know I get down on myself for Christmas, and they handmade these beautiful.
We should read some of them.
I want to. Anyway, but really quick, back to the bar because we're gonna finish that drama. I have learned this year, boys don't know when I'm flirting. Boys don't know when I'm attracted to them. It's like almost they're oblivious, but I'm not as transparent as I think I am either.
Isn't that
It's
interesting?
a fascinating lesson. So no, I don't gotta move at the bar.
What does that say about our personalities?
It says we're oblivious of who we are.
Or maybe we're afraid of like taking up space and attention.
Yeah,
you know, maybe we're afraid of our voices being heard.
That's a really good point.
Wow, did I just blow your
You're so
mind?
beautiful, fancy
Okay.
dancer.
So it's a bunch of cards, like playing cards on a key ring, and
that they
they've been painted, hand painted, and each of them has a little affirmation.
And it starts with Connor.
And then
that's
you-
my name.
The owner of a smile that can light up a disco town.
Disco town. It's so
What's
cute.
a disco town?
A disco town, Christina.
Is
Come
this
on.
a disco town?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. More than my mistake.
That's so.
I am making a difference by existing.
Yeah. Bursting with creativity, or does it say busting?
The best
They're
movie
also-
date ever. I'm deserving of respect.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, these are just.
Worthy of the love. Worthy of the love of every animal I meet. Dad, they know how scared of animals I am.
You're scared of birds.
I'm scared of birds. I don't like birds.
Oh yeah. So Connor's probably gonna watch my cats while I'm in treatment. So thank you.
Maybe I'll do a little podcast.
Oh, you can. I mean,
I'll abduct for like an episode.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to record in there. So.
I'd be fascinated what they allow you to do. They might.
Well, I was gonna ask one more question.
Yeah.
So, things we're not gonna take for granted again.
Oh,
Did I ask you that? What did you say?
Mine was social life.
Social,
Mine
yeah,
was going-
bars, meeting
and-
people at bars.
Yeah, I thought yours would be music, going to like concerts and stuff.
Totally.
Or,
Live music is something, like, in the past, I've been pretty good about going to shows by myself, like, since moving to Seattle, but, you know, there would be times where I would RSVP to something, and then the night would come, and I would feel kind of anxious and just decide not to go. And now I think back on those moments, and I just think, oh my god, I took that for granted. Like, what a waste.
No way.
I mean, same with social situations. I think sometimes I think you struggle with this too. Like you'll commit to something, and then in the moment you don't feel up to it, and so you cancel. Like I do that fairly often, and I'm not
the
proud.
question that you were saying what I learned about myself, I was gonna say like I'm pretty flaky, but anyway. No.
But okay, there's a difference between being flaky and understanding what you need and not being ashamed to. I think it's flaky if you make a stupid excuse and it's obvious that it's an excuse.
Yeah.
Like I personally have always made excuses, and so I'm trying to be better at just giving my friends credit to like understand. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, my friends invited me over to their house for Christmas, and I had seen them the night before on Christmas Eve. It was so lovely, but that morning it was raining really hard, and I didn't feel like getting out of bed, and I just wanted to sit and FaceTime my family, and I just said that, and they were fine with it, and like I don't think. Do you feel afraid of like speaking your mind sometimes, even to the people who care about you?
Yeah, to tell you someone you can't be there.
Yeah. Like that's the fucked up part is that you're afraid of being honest with the people close to you because you don't want to disappoint them or like make them think of you differently.
And honestly, no one gives me shit ever if I can't be somewhere, if I can't do something.
Yeah.
Ever.
And if they do, then they're not a friend.
Well, that's what you say, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like you expect everyone to do that to you. So when you leave space for someone to surprise you,
how have you surprised yourself this year?
Let's see.
I feel like some of
My
these
feet
questions
are bigger
are getting.
than I expected. That one surprised me.
Your feet?
And my feet are bigger than I expected.
Wait, let's hold our feet up together in front of the microphone. This is happening.
Okay, give us a.
Wait, I'm gonna take a picture.
You are a lady. Yours are gonna be smaller.
My feet are fucking huge. I'm taking
Mine
a
are
picture.
huge. Mine are man feet.
Wait, I need to get the microphone in there.
Yeah, get the microphone. My little pumas.
Look,
Oh my gosh.
are almost the same size.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. This is awkward now.
Oh,
Now I feel guilty that I
was...
called mine big. Are you okay with having bigger feet? How does that feel for you?
I have always had big feet.
Oh, crap.
It's fine.
I mean, I didn't think I did.
But I'm curious how you got all the way to 2020 without realizing how big your feet were.
I always buy a size too small and I let my feet run them. You know, I let my feet be the boss, not the shoe. That's what I do.
I don't know what to make of that.
It's kind of inspirational though, isn't it? Like I'm kind of inspiring you. Aren't I?
I'm just like staring into the microphone with my mouth open. Do you have anything else you want to add about this year? Like,
I kind of do.
Yeah,
the holidays. We didn't talk about like Christmas and whatever.
I feel like I had no expectations at all for Christmas because of the rest of the year.
Point. Yeah.
I'm kind of relieved it's over, but it was going into it with no expectations. I think it turned out pretty great.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna talk about your guilt going to see your family. For
I mean,
what COVID is. I felt it.
Well, I did not see my family this year because they live in Virginia, and I don't want to get on a plane or expose my it doesn't make sense. But I did feel. I didn't really feel guilty about it. I just felt like sad about it because I think they really wanted me to come and they offered to pay, which is so lovely of them. But like, I'm not, that's a terrible idea right now.
It is.
No
really
one should
scary.
be getting on a plane.
I went to go see my mother, and I felt so much guilt the whole time. Yeah.
And so, I feel like I'm still kind of processing like what's happened over the last few days with like so many people showing up for me and just being amazing people. I don't know. I feel like I have a really solid chosen family here in Seattle. And so I did not feel alone on Christmas.
Yeah. And I think the longer you're here, the more you will get, right? The more family. It's funny. We've talked about this many, many times. And I think we even said on the last podcast that I was here that Seattle's really hard to make relationships in. But I've been here about 5 years, and the people that I've met that are still around are rocking my world.
Yeah.
You'll make more of them as you go, and especially if you're taking care of yourself, like you do on some of these plans that you have.
Yeah, I'm really excited to just deal with this and start fresh. Because I can't live like this anymore. It's just so exhausting. Yeah. And it's not fair to myself. I mean,
the people that are going to be in your
future. It's not fair to the people that I care about, but it's definitely not fair to myself or my cats. And so,
number one reason. Yeah, for sure.
I care more about my cats than I do myself. It's fine.
I'm so excited to watch them.
Yes. I wonder if I'm allowed to have a phone.
I hope so.
I don't know. I
guess we'll see.
We'll see.
You should look it up.
But yeah, Connor might be taking over the podcast for a little.
Yeah, it seems I will be the new host of this ditty, just so you guys know. I'll say things like this. Welcome, ladies and gents. Like very sultry.
You have to go up close.
Welcome, ladies and gents. Wait, okay. I'm going to try one more time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait.
How was that? Are you good to it? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no. Yes.
I have one more thing I want to talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
Accutane.
Oh, yes.
God.
You are on Accutane.
I'm on Accutane.
How has it been for your mental health? Well, let's talk. This is a subject I did not know we would be talking about.
We're going to take a quick dive into the vanity portion of this discussion.
A very quick dive into the world of acne and how it affects your mental health.
Can I tell you?
Because it does.
Makes me the saddest. It messes me up. Yeah.
Have you always had bad acne?
Oh, always. Luckily, mine is not in a horrible place right now. It is mostly managed, but Accutane is just to seal the deal. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, and even into my early 20s, cystic, intense, gross, red, nasty acne. Right?
It's so painful.
And it is painful. Yeah.
And guys have to shave.
I didn't have to shave later in life, but yeah.
It just hit me the other day, like, holy shit, imagine being a guy having to shave with acne. Yeah. Ouch.
Oh, definitely ouch. And you just hate yourself. You feel so ugly.
Does it affect your confidence?
Oh, absolutely. For when I was much younger, you know what's funny? I met some very attractive people even with acne, so when I don't have it. No, I'm just kidding.
Because you're beautiful.
well, one, I really hate that our society and culture has made vanity what it is put it on the pedestal that it's in.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I have to take this horrifying drug to get rid of it, because Accutane has a ton of side effects, including depression, psychotic episodes, kidney failure, whatever, and I have to take on a risk of that just to get rid of something on my face.
It's really intense stuff.
That really does make me so self-conscious.
It's worth it. It's worth it if it, like, if you're being safe about it, which you are.
I am being safe, yeah.
Literally, I was just reading the box before we started recording this, and it literally says, women do not get pregnant.
No. It has, like, big woman pregnant belly X'd out on it. Like,
yeah,
it's intense.
I feel like it was worded even more, like,
wow.
ominously than that. But,
whatever it is, it's heavy.
Yeah. So you're moving into the new year. You're on Accutane. You
Accutane.
You have a new apartment and a job, and
I'll be in here for 6 months on Accutane.
Is there anything like self-care tips you learned that you're going to make a part of your like daily routine even after COVID?
Yeah, it's kind of I think well, actually, maybe not everyone's heard this. It's taking your future in bite sizes, right?
Actually, we've never talked about that. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
Well.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, when I was looking for this job, I did an application a day, right? Making it manageable so that I could have a future in a position and a job that helps me be stable. Or I do this in dating, too. I do very well on the dating apps, so I get a little overwhelmed with it. And
I mean, I'll post this picture of our feet.
Stop it!
And everyone will
say,
be messaging you. Yeah, we get it.
No,
Sorry,
God.
I couldn't resist.
That's why
Continue.
I'm so good on Tinder. No, I get a little overwhelmed with the dating apps because it's so much coming at me at once, and I ghost people like crazy because I can't manage it all at once. So I will swipe, or I'll match with someone a day. Talk to them, and if I like it, keep going with that, right? That's another future thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really want a relationship with someone that's very substantial. So for me, that's bite-sized, right?
Yeah.
That's doable. My friendships see people every few days.
Yeah.
So one, it's responsible with COVID. Two, I'm still fostering a relationship with people that does not overwhelm me.
Yeah.
Right? All that stuff. I mean, I'm an artist too, so
I think we've talked a lot about people isolating and struggling with isolation, but we haven't talked about feeling like people are stressing you out.
People
like,
stress me the crap
like
out.
Isolation as self-care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
that's
that's pretty controversial
for
to
sure.
say right now, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's all about balance, and also like you said, it's safe. So
Yeah, exactly.
Bite-sized future, I love that.
Bite-sized
it's
future. Yeah, I mean,
so
I've been talking to you about it. You know, you take it one step at a time.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
change is not going to come overnight, and I think a lot of people, if they don't see enough progress, they get really disappointed.
Yeah, I got really lucky. with
I
some of my
love that.
situation, but
Just bite-sized future. That's so cute.
I like that. Maybe that'll be the title.
Right? Bite-sized future. I love it.
Bite-sized future.
Happy
2021. Happy New Year.
Yes.
I'm
You
very
guys, if you're
excited.
listening to this, you survived, I'm assuming?
You made it.
Maybe you survived?
Well,
I don't know. I just want you to feel valid, however you're struggling right now. Maybe you feel like shit and you don't want to survive another year, but I don't know.
Please do.
Please do.
I would really like that.
It'll be worth it.
I swear it'll be worth it. It's gonna be freaking bomb. 2021. We can't go farther down.
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
survived a plague.
party with our
Come on.
socks off.
Oh, with my big feet.
Yes. One other thing, I wanted to do this with you. I do these awards.
Oh yes.
I give out a hot and spicy pickle award to each of my guests that year.
Wait, does that mean I get one?
Well, let's keep listening.
Oh.
I wanted to give you one while we're recording, but I haven't thought of it yet.
What do you mean? Is it titled?
You've seen The Office? It's like the Dundies.
Oh my gosh! Like
everyone
you would
gets.
say, hottest foot pickle.
Yeah, but okay. Well, I do have one, but it's not that funny. It's more like.
Okay, serious is great.
So.
Maybe I'll cry.
I would give you. Hold on, I need to think about this. And hold on.
It's not fancy dancing pickle.
Oh, get your fancy dancing pickle away from me.
Ew! I just really need to make sure it's known that is not happening. My pickle is not out. You can also
I
cut
can't.
this.
Oh my god, no, I'm not gonna cut it.
I know.
Best unofficial co-host.
Oh my god! Let me tell you, I'm gonna get my way in there. I'm gonna make my way into that co-host spot.
Yeah, it's not the spiciest pickle, but it's the hottest pickle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the.
But yeah,
I love that.
Out of all the guests I've ever had, you are the. I feel like we have
we got a nice.
we have a chemistry.
A repertoire.
Yeah, I mean our feet fit perfectly together.
Our feet really did fit perfectly.
You guys will not
together,
believe this
was-
picture. I'm gonna post the picture.
I want you to.
So yeah, this is my first hot and spicy pickle award of the year, and it goes to you. And you guys can hang on for the rest of it in a bit.
Love it.
After we say goodbye.
Happy New Year's.
Happy fucking New Year. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, it's me again. Thank you for listening to the entertaining interview with Connor. I hope it lifted your spirits a little bit. Without wasting any more time, I'm going to jump straight into the second annual Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards. Insert clapping here. Thank you. Okay, settle down. So this is a little tradition that I started last year. I mean, you heard the interview with Connor, so you know what they are. But basically, I make up awards for all of the guests that I've had that year, and I give them out on the final episode of the year. So one of the things that I kind of wished I had done before this was to reach out to them and kind of ask them how they're doing, maybe have like a where are they now to this portion. But it's a little tricky with the nature of this podcast. Obviously, my guests include a lot of people who are actively struggling with their mental health, and it's not always a guarantee that they'll get better after they have their interview with me. And as I went down this list of guests for this episode, I started off having a lot of fun, but then I actually got kind of sad because I got to my friend Mara's name, who was on episode 30, in which we talk about addiction. And about a month after that last episode aired, she went radio silent, and nobody I know has heard from her since. And I know suicidal ideation is something she struggled with, and so I'm worried about her. It's really, really hard coming to terms with the fact that, like, as much as I want to help all of you guys, it's just really hard because these are people that I didn't necessarily even know before interviewing them, and all of these people have been extremely vulnerable with me, given me personal information, and it's such a gift. So yeah, it hurts not knowing if they're okay. Not to bum you guys out, that was pretty dark, but I am excited to start giving out this year's Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards.
Seriously, guys, you can stop. It's fine.
Okay, so I only had 13 guests this year, so it's going to be pretty quick. I will start chronologically from the first episode of 2020, and I'll go from there. So that was number 28. I interviewed my brother, Andrew, and he talked about emotional intelligence, disappointment after not getting something he wanted. He talked about why people shouldn't give advice. And not only is it just a really helpful episode, but you can tell we have a lot of fun recording together, and we talk a lot about our childhood, share some juicy details. So you should go back and listen. But the award I'm going to give to him is Guest I'd Vote to be Captain of My Post-Apocalyptic Survival Troop. I really set myself up there for stumbling over my words. But since we recorded that, he went on to accomplish his dream of joining the Coast Guard, and he's about to get his first assignment. So all that to say, he's very analytical and smart and has the physical capabilities to lead a group through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Take that as you will. All right, moving on. Episode 29, I interviewed my friend Annie, and I learned a lot in that episode. Like, I didn't even know that dependent personality disorder was a thing until our interview, and She was really vulnerable to me and told me a lot of the difficult things that she's had to go through because of her illness, and I'm really grateful for that. But I also discovered that she has a lot of pets, like a lot of pets. I forget how many. She told me like right off the bat how many pets she had, and I was like, oh my God. So I am awarding Annie with most likely to be on a reality TV show about animals. Again, take it as you will. I hope no one's like offended by any of these. My third Hot and Spicy Pickle Award goes to my friend Mara, and I'm giving her the most quoted guest in Pickles and Vodka History Award. Our episode about addiction really resonated with a lot of people, and to this day, her episode is the one that most of you quote back to me. Like, the term harm reduction in particular, a lot of people discover that term because of that episode. She talks a lot about harm reduction and is very honest about what she's going through. And I think, like I said, a lot of people relate to that. So her award is most quoted guest in Pickles and Vodka History. All right. Next award goes out to my friend Anne of episode 31 about how to live alone with mental illness. One thing that you are not able to tell about Anne from just listening to the podcast is that she is extremely stylish. She dresses like a lot of vintage looks, a lot of old Hollywood glam. So the award I'm giving to her is Guest I Would Most Want to Take Thrifting. The next Hot and Spicy Pickle Award goes out to Andrew Jackson of episode 32 about getting stuck in life and changing. Andrew was the first person that I interviewed that also had a podcast. So interviewing with him was just an editor's dream. Like, he had really good talking points and came prepared, obviously. And I was listening to this episode today, actually, again, and just really impressed with some of the stuff he was saying about like why we get ourselves stuck in life and how we can get out of it. Anyway, my award for him is Genius on the Rise. Because when I interviewed him, he had just gotten out of college and was working at this research center, studying like addiction and stuff like that. And so I just had a feeling that I was in the presence of greatness when we interviewed. So he gets the Genius on the Rise award. The next award goes to Cara of episode 33, in which we talk about her famous meme account and the way she addresses eating disorders and other serious topics with humor. She is 16 and in school and lives in China, so I know it wasn't easy taking time to talk to me, but honestly, it's such a good episode. I say that for everyone, but like you can tell she's done a lot of thinking about the struggles we face, and it really comes through in our interview.
The award that I give to her is Most Promising Future as a TikTok Personality. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I did not know about TikTok before our interview in March. So it was quite the education on my part, and she's got the social media thing down. I mean, just check out the followers on her meme account. So I don't think I will be surprised if someday I see one of her videos on my feed, and knowing her, it will probably be funny, but also communicating a really important message about mental health at the same time, because that's just how she rolls.
The next Hot and Spicy Pickle Award goes out to my friend Lucy Sarah, who I interview in episode 34, and we talk about endometriosis and, you know, her mental health struggles there. But I first met her when I rode my motorcycle to Pennsylvania from DC with a group of women, and Lucy Sarah was the founder of the event that we were going to. She's just such a cool person and has gone through so much, but she doesn't let it extinguish her spark, and it's definitely contagious. So Lucy Sarah gets my award for Most Likely to Rock Your World. I don't think I need to explain that one further. If you know her, you'll know. All right, the next award goes to Dr. Rachel Zoffness of episode 35, in which she talks all about pain and anxiety contagion. This is another episode that my friends refer to a lot when they talk to me about the podcast because Rachel has a PhD and she has devoted her whole life to this thing she's talking about. But she does it in such a way that you feel at ease and you don't feel like you're being talked at by a doctor. Like, I don't know. She makes it accessible. So Rachel gets the award for the next Anthony Fauci. I think that's a good thing. I hope that you do too. All right. The next award goes to my friend Key Richard from episode 36, People Suck But Will Also Save Us. And her award is Guest I Want to Hug the Most. Because I have hugged Key in real life when I met her in 2010 at our Bible school. And I still to this day think about that hug. Like when I'm having a really hard time, I just like imagine Key hugging me. Hopefully that doesn't sound creepy. But yeah, her episode is really great. We talk about spiritual abuse and new beginnings and like how to educate people on social media. So yeah, go back to hear that and you might get a few details about my embarrassing past. The next award I was going to give to Connor. You guys already know what it was, but basically he got the award for best unofficial co-host because he has showed up for me so much this year. This is like the third episode he is on with me. And yeah, he's basically my best unofficial co-host. I just don't want to pay him, so keep it a secret. I have 2 more awards to go, guys. You're doing great. The next award goes to my friend who I'll call D. She wanted to remain anonymous on her episode. But she talked all about her eating disorder, facial dysmorphia, how others' expectations have really hurt her. And this is also someone that I met online, but I've spoken with her a few times. We FaceTime each other. And I'm just blown away all the time with the grace with which she navigates these really tricky topics and how easy it is to talk to her. And so, with that in mind, I am giving her the award for most likely to infiltrate the masses and be America's next mental health spokesperson. She's got it all. She's gorgeous and she is funny and smart, but also is a sufferer and not afraid to be honest about what she's going through. So yeah, I'll be looking out for you in the spotlight. All right, guys, you've made it to the end. My final Hot and Spicy Pickle Award goes out to Cody Anderson, the musician I interviewed for episode 38, No 0 Days. You know, Cody was great to talk to. He's gone through a lot with addiction and, you know, moving around and having a difficult family past. But throughout it all, he's been able to use music as like a healing tool. So the award I am giving to Cody is most likely to star in a documentary. Just because, you know, you've got the musician thing going, you're dealing with a lot of demons, and I feel like you should think about capitalizing on that. All right. Thank you guys for listening to the second Hot and Spicy Pickle Awards virtual ceremony. The next time I talk to you guys, it will be 2021. I am going into treatment next month and don't know what my schedule will be like, but in the meantime, I'm trying to get as many interviews down as I can, so I'll be able to spread them out while I'm in treatment. So if you would like to speak out about your own mental health journey, you can email me at picklesandvodkapodcast@gmail.com. And I'm also on Instagram at Pickles and Vodka Podcast. Slide into those DMs and let's get the ball rolling. I really hope you guys have a good new year. Remember that if you feel like life has beat you down this year and you fucked everything up, we just survived extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime conditions. Whatever you do, don't beat yourself up for not meeting your goals this year or not being where you thought you'd be, because guess what? No one is where we wanted to be, and all we can do is stay optimistic and keep each other safe. So happy new year, guys. Stay safe. Bye.